Hey everyone, welcome back. Something big is stirring right now, and it's not just in the sky, it's in your chest. August 11th is setting the stage for the total solar eclipse in Leo the very next day on August 12th. This is the moment our hearts begin to awaken. And when enough hearts awaken, the revolution begins. We have a powerful Leo stellium with Mercury, Jupiter, the Sun, the Moon, and the South Node all clustered together in Leo. They're kind of basking in that bold, radiant Leo light, the sign of the heart, and staring straight across the sky at Pluto in Aquarius, the sign of the revolutionary. Now, Mercury is at 3 degrees Leo in an exact opposition to Pluto retrograde at 3 degrees Aquarius. That is not your subtle, everyday kind of energy. This is the kind of energy we will feel. Something that has been sitting in the dark is becoming conscious. The way we think, the way we process information, the stories we've been telling ourselves, they're all being forced into the light. At the same time, Mars in Cancer is squaring Neptune in Aries. So while the heart is kind of waking up, there's also a lot of emotional fog and confusion about what action to take next. But more on that in a minute. First, let's also notice that Venus in Libra is forming a beautiful exact trine to Uranus in Gemini and a supportive sextile to that whole Leo stellium. Venus in her home sign of Libra brings our focus to love, beauty, values, and connection, actively helping us reorient and seek more balance in our relationships. This energy is activating something deep within us, something that's been growing in our hearts. And I'm not talking about that soft kind of follow your heart thing. I'm talking about the real, sometimes uncomfortable truth. The kind that shows you where you have been mistreated, where your relationships have become one-sided, where you've been performing to please others or to gain some kind of approval, or where these things have kind of replaced the truth of who you are, the truth of what lights you up inside and what you're actually passionate about, where you've been dimming your light to, stay small in another person's reflection. So while the heart is revealing something to us at this time, especially leading up to, during, and after this Leo eclipse, we also have our focus shifting to something bigger than ourselves with the new nodal cycle that began on July 26th. So I've been talking about the lunar nodes shifting signs, moving into Aquarius and Leo for a while now. And this shift from me to we is no longer theoretical, it's active. What is best for the group is starting to outweigh what is best for the individual. And Leo is helping us do this from the heart instead of from feeling forced or feeling obligated. And why is this? Because Leo rules the heart, both symbolically and physically. And that has a direct effect on our actual heart and our vagus nerve. You might have heard of the vagus nerve. A lot of people call this nerve the God nerve because it connects the brain to almost every major organ in the body. It plays a massive role in how we feel, how we survive, and how we connect with other people. And here's something really wild and interesting. The heart itself contains over 40,000 sensory neurons. Scientists call this the heart brain. It can sense, process, and send information to the brain through the vagus nerve, often before the brain even knows what's happening. So the heart has its own consciousness, its own nervous system. And right now with this Leo stellium, that heart intelligence is turned like all the way up, like an antenna receiving a broadcast from the universe. So when the vagus nerve is healthy and the heart and brain are in coherence, something beautiful happens. We have more empathy. We speak our truth instead of fearing it. And our nervous system settles. So that really matters right now, especially with the planet of communication, Mercury, in Leo opposing Pluto. Because it's now more than ever that honest words can cut through social masks and touch on real human needs. Calm, non-reactive, heartfelt expression actually lowers stress in the people listening to us. Vulnerable communication activates mirror neurons, so people feel it. They don't just hear our words, they literally feel our words in their bodies. So Pluto is going to be in Aquarius until 2044. That's a really long time. And it's not here to make small adjustments. It's here to revolutionize society. I mean, at the very deepest level, purging what's been rotting in our governments, our systems, our collective way of thinking. People are going to start taking their power back from leaders and structures that feel unfair. Aquarius cares way more about equality and the whole than it does about personal comfort. And that's the energy we're swimming in with the North Node and Pluto in Aquarius. Now the South Node in Leo and the Leo stellium, let's talk about Leo and its shadow. Leo and its shadow can be pretty egocentric. It performs for applause. It wants to be seen, validated, admired, sometimes at the expense of the group. But in its highest expression, Leo offers itself from a place of pure joy and from love. And when it does that, it creates ripples. It uplifts, it changes the emotional temperature of every room it enters. So when the heart is running the show, that's when shared emotional truth can start to really unite large groups of people in the most powerful ways. People follow leaders who sound real, who feel authentic. And deep personal change is what breaks those old rigid rules and cultures. And this is one of those times when that kind of change becomes possible if we let our heart lead us. Now, about that Mars-Neptune square, you may be noticing a restless, almost agitated feeling of needing to do something, but having no clear idea which direction to go or what is real. You know, there can be a tendency to feel deeply victimized or to take on too much responsibility for other people's pain and try to kind of like save them out of emotional guilt instead of clear and sovereign choice. So beware of this tendency. And Mars in Cancer doesn't usually explode in obvious rage. When it feels threatened, the anger leaks out slowly through passive aggression, through the home, through family relationships. So be honest with yourself about how your anger might be seeping out onto the people closest to you. And Neptune's fog can sometimes make gut instincts unreliable, and that's something to be aware of right now. It can romanticize an ideal version of how things should be and make us fight for something that was never really real to begin with. So if you're feeling triggered or confused by other people's behavior right now, or you're just feeling really scared over the state of the world, slow down. Put a hand on your chest. Let your heart become the facilitator instead of letting your mind spin out of control or letting your mind, run away with false stories. I mean, this is the invitation of August 11th, the day before the eclipse. for us to stop performing, stop escaping, and stop trying to save everyone. And instead, to let something true rise up from the center of our chest and let that lead the way. The heart starts the revolution, and we are all ready for this kind of revolutionary change. We are ready to raise the vibration on this planet, and it starts with each and every one of us. As the Dalai Lama once said, just as ripples spread out when a single pebble is dropped into the water, the actions of individuals can have far-reaching effects. So let's all do our part. Let's lead by example, and let's lead with the heart. If you want to go deeper into the eclipse energy, I just released a video where I talk about how this total solar eclipse in Leo is eclipsing narcissism, both the ways we've been on the receiving end of it and the ways it still lives in us and our relationships. I'll link it right after here so you can watch it next. And I'd love to hear what's shifting for you right now. What are you noticing in your body, your relationships, or the way you're starting to show up differently in your life? Share it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this message resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you'd like and subscribe to my channel. It helps more people find this kind of heart-centered conversation. So please take care of yourselves, take care of your heart, and I'll see you next time. Bye.